Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. So take a seat, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I just want to ask you guys, could please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely. Also, if you do find any of the information in this video valuable, useful, whatever it is, definitely hit that subscribe and turn notifications on button to never miss a future update, and I do thank you all for that. Now overall, yes, we have been focusing on Bitcoin lately. I know it sucks, it's a drag, it's whatever it is, right? We have to pretty much just play by the rules currently until we are in a utility-driven market. I know that time is coming very soon. I do think it's a little bit of a time away, not too far, but I do believe that we still are pretty much in the range for Bitcoin. We have to still pay attention to Bitcoin. And I know that sucks, but, you know, overall, this is the game that we're playing. You know, even on XRP, right? For those who have been holding XRP for maybe a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever the overall, you know, time period it is, I'm sure that you have gone through some ups and downs. Even if we're going back to 2020 alone, right? You know, for those who are holding since like March of 2020, because I know a lot of people were kind of jumping into crypto during, you know, the drop during COVID. But those who invest into XRP, first off, you're in incredible profit still. But we've seen that profit almost become a massive profitable asset during this time specifically. Now, when is this? This is November of 2020, 1 month before the lawsuit came, and here's the, you know, lawsuit aftermath. The funny thing about this is that we were almost ready to run, and around this time, Bitcoin was running. You know, Bitcoin was doing some major moves. A lot of altcoins started to break out. And XRP, in my mind, without the lawsuit, would have been at least $5 to $10 at around this point in time. Like during pretty much all the way to May, right? I think around this time would be pretty much the $5 to $10 range for XRP. And we still would be around that point anyways without the SEC. So that's why I do think that the overall price of XRP has been stifled greatly, and I do think that it's been hyper suppressed. If you guys don't believe me, you guys can go watch Blockchain Backer's video on this. I actually seen it a while back now, but a great friend of mine actually shared me it, and it was such an incredible video to really kind of go in depth on where XRP would have been by now without the SEC. It's truly eye-opening, and it's also very frustrating to, you know, really kind of think about that. But you know, overall, let's stop talking prices. Let's kind of move on, and let's talk about some other things in regards to XRP. So first off, we do see this. So this is actually a pretty big overall kind of connection here. Now, if you guys don't know, so first off, we do see here, call me, you know, names, but you have to be, you know, you have to see this. You know, Evan Robert Jackson. He was responsible for Ripple winning the case against Tetragon in 2021. Tetragon called him an expert witness to prove the Ripple had fair notice, but he leaned more towards Ripple and helped them win. And of course, here you guys do have that. Here's Robert Jackson. Also, there's some incredible names overall on this. Now, this is that meeting on January 24th, by the way. If you guys didn't know, this is in regards to the SEC sort of meeting, talking about regulations. And of course, you guys can pretty much see that quote there. Now, we do see this, though. No way, no freaking way, right? This goes back to January 25th, 2021. Scott Morgan, how the pandemic has altered cryptocurrency's relationships with gaming and entertainment. If you guys don't know who Scott Morgan is, well, let's kind of go over to this meeting board again. Here's the session chair. Scott Morgan, Senior Vice President, Chief Legal Officer, Global Affairs, and Secretary, Splunk Inc., San Francisco. Now, what's significant about this, you know, in general, right? Well, let's kind of go into that. So first off, we do see down here. Now, this is from Scott Morgan himself. He's talking pretty much about everything that's been going on in crypto for, you know, since the pandemic pretty much streamlined a lot of stuff. Now, this goes back, like I said, to 2021 of January, so a whole year ago. But we do see here the pandemic accelerated both blockchain DLT and cryptocurrencies by translating fear, doubt over governance, balkanization, and monetary policy into innovation and risk-taking in an asset class that exploded in value. Some transfer of wealth into cryptocurrencies from traditional investment comes down to established financial systems, refusal to innovate, with Ripple taking future revenue from the SWIFT system. Now, listen, I'm not saying that this is going to lead to a massive, you know, settlement or win or anything like that. I'm just saying it is possible where we have a lot of individuals realizing the need for XRP, understanding that when we're talking about where Ripple really is positioned, there's no other asset out there or company that is as well positioned as Ripple right now currently in the banking scene. And we're actually going to be talking about that in this video as we do kind of move forward on as well. But this is all talking about everything in terms of crypto, really kind of looking at a lot of, the climate action plan, expanding the rules of GCs, even doing business cross-border, and even cybersecurity as well. So there's a lot of talks that are going to be happening within this overall meeting as well. And I'm actually very excited to see the things that kind of, domino effect after that. But we also hear from Jeremy Hogan. Shout out to Jeremy Hogan if you guys don't know who he is. Incredible individual. But we do see here, this tweet wouldn't get out of my head. So I had to read the Telegram case again, and Johnny Deaton 1 has the only reasonable conclusion. In preparing this lawsuit back in the late 2020, the SEC didn't believe that XRP was still a security, or didn't believe it could prove it either. And of course, we do see down here, indeed, even in the Telegram case, the judge clarified that the token itself was not the security. So why won't the SEC stipulate that XRP itself is not a security? P.S. Thanks a lot, John, for messing with my mind like that. And honestly, it truly is the idea that they can't really, they can't clarify that that XRP is a security at all. In fact, even during this entire case, going back to the Telegram case, they could not clarify that it was a security. It's funny, and of course we do see here, if the SEC believes all XRPs are securities, then why does it allow all of these illegal sales? Why not seek a preliminary injunction to stop all sales like it did in Telegram? The answer is clear. The SEC doesn't believe in its own case theory. The lawsuit was used as a weapon, and this truly is the truth. Like, I honestly think that, this entire SEC lawsuit was a massive attack on XRP. I think that it was a low blow, to be completely honest with you guys as well, for a lot of higher up individuals to benefit greatly from Ethereum's overall run. If you guys don't believe me, you guys could go follow Johnny Deaton and a lot of other individuals on this that kind of break this down. But it definitely was a weapon. I truly support all cryptocurrencies. Like, I really don't hate on a lot of crypto assets. I just think that there's a lot that are kind of, doing things a little bit wrong. But for the most part, I support everything until there is something like this lawsuit that comes out where it's a clear manipulation and corruption case. And I think that we will see, this entire overall case collapse greatly on the SEC. Now, let's talk about a few things. So first off, we're going to be talking about this. So here's an oldie but good. 3 years ago, Ripple has been working with banks for the past 5 years. So with an 8-year or so track record with banks, I don't think they're more confident in any other company or asset than Ripple and XRP to switch to ISO 222. Now listen closely to this, guys. This is actually fairly interesting.
So Ripple has been working with banks rather than against them for the last 5 years to develop a solution that will be acceptable to them, meet the compliance requirements of regulators around the world, to then deliver a high-speed, real-time, cross-border payment platform. If you look at the way networks work today, the friction is between networks, and blockchain is simply one more network. So saying one blockchain will cover the whole world is like saying we should all be with AOL or Yahoo for the internet, and that would have solved all our problems. As we know that the internet has not grown up that way. So having multiple blockchains for different use cases is good, but you can't really talk across them. So interoperability is kind of a key problem that Ripple has sought to solve. We think that by connecting networks, you will get the greatest benefit in terms of removing friction in the movement of value around the world. We do this through something called the Interledger Protocol. This is an open protocol invented by Ripple, but now being run as an open standard by more than 300 organizations that participate in the W3C committee for it. So the idea here is that a bunch of people who have an interest in making the movement of value frictionless will collaborate to build a new protocol to enable ledgers to connect with each other. Now, we are taking all of the parallels for the development of this protocol from the internet itself. And if you look at the way email works, it's because of a standard protocol, TCP/IP, that enables information to be moved in packets around the world without your necessarily having to build bespoke integrations with people from other parts of the world. So using the same model, we have developed the interledger protocol, which will ultimately allow a ledger in country A to talk to a ledger in country B without having to be on the same platform. This, we think, is going to solve for the Internet of Value. We are also building a basis for smart contracts.
And honestly, I just want you to all understand that they're literally connecting to nearly every bank. Okay? Now, although, yes, this was 3 years ago, where they had the top 38 out of the top 100 banks already on board. They also had 300 plus financial institutions that stretched to, it's honestly probably in the tens of thousands of financial institutions already on board. But when we're talking about how many clients and customers are already utilizing Ripple technology right now, it's absolutely ridiculous. And that's why I do think that they are preparing for regulations, because that's going to be an absolute bombshell of announcement when they utilize XRP instead of just utilizing RippleNet in general. Because although, yes, they do have a choice, some, overall companies, maybe even some banks or even countries will not utilize XRP until it is deemed, of course, a currency and regulations are in, store. Now, I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about this now. So here is the fall of SWIFT. Germany, disconnecting Russia from SWIFT will have a nuclear bomb effect on world markets. Now, if you did not know about this, so pretty much what's happening is a lot of talks about Ripple pretty much disconnecting from SWIFT. Or Russia, sorry. I think I said Ripple, I don't know, but it's all good. We do see a loss of confidence in the SWIFT system could be like an atomic bomb for the capital markets as well as goods and services markets. I foresee a massive economic downturn in our economies if something like this happens. This would affect Russia, but it would also do significant damage to us as a major exporting power. And of course, we do see here, according to the politician, disconnecting Russia from SWIFT can undermine the foundation of this international payment system. So all it takes is one, overall area around the world, could be anywhere, to really disconnect from, pretty much SWIFT, and it will create a massive bombshell event. We actually see here, defending Ukraine's Sovereignty Act of 2022, which outlines restrictions against Russia in the case of escalation of tensions around Ukraine. It involves the imposition of sanctions against the Russian president, prime minister, foreign ministers, and defense ministers, the chief of general staff of the Russian armed forces, and other representatives of the military leadership, as well as limiting Russia's access to the international interbank payment system, SWIFT. So, I'm just saying, things are getting heated up. Now, of course, when I say that the fall of SWIFT is, first off, let's talk about the fall of SWIFT real quick. So in my mind, the fall of SWIFT isn't the idea of XRP and Ripple pretty much, taking money from SWIFT in general, and that's pretty much it. Like, the SWIFT is done. They don't even have any, capital. No, it's taking a significant percentage from SWIFT, or maybe even SWIFT, reinventing the wheel with DLT technology. That's pretty much what I see happening. I see at some point in time, SWIFT is going to, crypto is going to be way too big for SWIFT to ignore. Okay, now we're seeing a lot of talks about, a lot of areas now kind of questioning SWIFT in general, which isn't a big surprise to me personally, but this I thought was very interesting. And when we're talking about the fall of SWIFT, it kind of leads me back to Crypto Aries' video that she shared from the other day, which was this. So this goes back to the 12th of January, and she says, yes, multi-digital currency world, the SBI Group and Ripple liquidity hubs will be key for the global financial reset. A reset, in my eyes, is all about leveraging digital assets to build our financial wealth that we control. I see this reset as a positive, not a negative. Now, talking about this real quick before I play this video, it's a 1 minute long video, but let's actually talk about the fall of SWIFT. The fall of SWIFT isn't exactly them, pretty much shutting down or anything like that. It's the idea of them having to transition into the digital era. And we actually see them doing this already with tokenization. They're moving in on the tokenization scene. We've seen this. They're already confirming it. They want to get in on it. And I do believe that when we're talking about a financial reset, a massive global reset, I do believe it's going to be centered around digital assets. Listen to Cindy Young from Ripple herself, actually. Listen closely to this.
In terms of, which, I think there was something around which digital currencies are better, etc. So I don't think there is one answer to that. We do use XRP as a, bridge to move money around the world, but I'm not going to claim that XRP is the best digital currency in the world for everything and anything. It really depends on the use case, right? Bitcoin has a place for certain things, XRP has a place for certain things, and the other thousands of currencies out there have different use cases. The central bank digital currencies, today 80% of central banks are exploring or about to launch their own central bank digital currencies. What I think is interesting is not so much like which one is better, it's more this future that I can see, which I think will be more of a multi-currency kind of world where everybody will use it in different currencies for different needs, including fiat. And interoperability, I think, will be the key thing in that world.
And I truly do love the fact that she said interoperability is going to be the true winner there. Interoperability is definitely going to be the big key. I've been saying this for a very long time, even with QNT. I know that I don't really kind of involve QNT a lot in my XRP videos, but we talked about it with the Digital Pound Foundation. QNT is going to be a huge leveraged asset. When we're talking about that as a network, first off, it's unthinkable and unfathomable amounts of money that will flow through that network. Like, I know that we talk about XRP like it's some godsend asset from the future or something, but it's really not, okay? XRP will be huge, especially if it's leveraged the way that it's supposed to be. And, when we're talking about Ripple usurping some power away from Swift, I just think it's the idea that, we need to revolutionize the payment structure of the entire global financial markets. We are running on old payment rails, okay? The downfall of Swift is happening because Swift cannot innovate greatly without leveraging, of course, digital assets or even digital ledgers. So in my mind, when we go back to the first tweet in this video, when we're talking about regulations will be a key point pretty much for this entire market. It's the pinnacle at which we will see mass adoption take place. Right now, yes, I know everybody's probably tired of seeing Bitcoin. I know me personally, I don't hold any Bitcoin, but we have to watch it. We have to make sure that we keep a close eye out on it because it does help us make a lot of decisions in this market. Specifically, it helps us realize where our asset is going to go or be in a certain amount of time. For an example, when we're talking about Bitcoin and having a dominance of 40% while we're kind of just ranging around the 41.8K zone, and I've been calling for 37.5K for a while now, what do you think is going to be happening to a lot of our altcoin prices? Well, of course, they're going to drop. So why would I buy right now? That's the case that I pretty much kind of play this market, right? I kind of lean on Bitcoin a little bit here and there until we don't have to, which is, of course, when dominance starts to collapse on itself. But of course, with that all in mind, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on. If you guys did, definitely enjoyed the video. But of course, if you guys do want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.